Hey, what's up, ghouls and gals? It's me, Ryan T. Welcome to another edition of the Ryan T. Show podcast. That's right, ghouls and gals. We traveled back. We traveled into the future, into 2022, and we are still talking about movies. We are still talking about horror things. We are still being horror fiends, and we are still taking a nice old good chug of our drinks. Tastes good when it goes down. All right, ghouls and gals. Tonight we're going to be talking about Scream 2022.
Hello, Sydney. It's an honor.
That's right, ghouls and gals. We're going to be talking about the reunion tour known as Scream 2022. And Scream 2022 stars your usual suspects. It stars David Arquette as Officer Dewey Dipshit. It stars fucking Courtney Cox as the old lady Gail Weathers. And it stars Neve Campbell, or Nev Campbell if you're nasty, as the wild thing, fucking Sidney Prescott. And it also stars a slew of young disposable bodies. I want to start off by saying that Scream 2022 thinks it's a little bit better than it actually is. And I think a lot of people think it's a little bit better than it actually is. I've been reading some of the comments. I've been reading some of the chatter online talking about Scream 2022. And honestly, I have to say, I had some real high expectations going into this film. One, because I'm a giant fan of Scream. And two, because I love horror movies. As you can see, I'm wearing the fucking Creep Show fucking shirt. I'm showing out here for you ghouls and gals. I'm wearing the horror movie merch. I was going to wear a Ghostface shirt, but then I realized I don't fucking have one, so I need to buy one. But yeah, Scream 2022, I enjoyed it for the most part. I really enjoyed it. It was a nice return to like form factor, and it was a nice return to like the classics and to see like all these legacy characters do their thing once again, because they have never left the franchise. Let's not act like they've never left the franchise. One thing I want to point out before I get into the nitty-gritty of this film review is that this film kept wanting to have like a Spider-Man like fucking No Way Home type fucking reveal of like every character, and like this film doesn't deserve that. Like, this film is much like the fucking Terminator movies, in which like Spider-Man No Way Home had like Andrew Garfield and fucking Tobey Maguire. We haven't seen those people be Spider-Man in like 10 plus years. All these other motherfuckers have been in all the fucking movies throughout the fucking history of this fucking franchise. There hasn't been a single Scream movie where you haven't seen fucking Gail Weathers or fucking Sidney Prescott or Officer Dewey Dipshit. They're in every fucking movie. They've been in the last one. They were in the one before that. They were in part 2. They were in part 1. They're in every fucking movie. The only thing that they weren't in was the fucking TV series, but nobody talks about that because nobody likes that. The movie even goes out of its way to make fun of the TV series, and I don't fucking blame it, because that is a fucking blemish on the fucking Scream franchise record there. But yeah, I hate that they do that in these films, and that they act like, oh, these characters haven't been in every single fucking movie, and like they introduce them as if they're like these fucking characters like that we haven't seen in a fucking long time. They do these fucking shots where they're like panning up and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, it's Gail Weathers, oh, it's Sidney Prescott, oh, it's Officer Dewey. We know, they're in every movie. We've seen them in every movie. They come out in every movie. Motherfucker walks with a limp like a little fucking pimp in every fucking movie. And we see old liver spotted hands fucking Gail Weathers, Courtney fucking Cox in every fucking movie. And we see fucking Sidney Prescott, aka fucking Nev Campbell. I look like an old lady since I was fucking 20 years old in every fucking movie. So yeah. As far as the other actors in it and the movie go, they're pretty good. They're pretty serviceable. They do their job as being like the disposable, like hard, hot, sexy teen bodies or whatever. But this film, at its core, it's what every Scream film should be. It's a who done it. It's a we're trying to figure out who the killer is. Even though we kind of figure out who the killer is pretty early on, you kind of like. I mean, if you follow the Scream rules, which the film so elegantly puts out for you again. You look at the fucking love interest first. You know what I mean? He is the one that is the the one that's gonna be the one that you want to look at. You know what I mean? They kind of they're kind of clever in that way in which they kind of give that away like right off the bat, in which they're kind of like what I mean, like look at these certain things so you can figure out like what's going on and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool. I like that. I like that they do that sort of thing in which that hasn't been a part of the Scream franchise in a while. You know what I mean? Part 4, Part 3. I mean, we're not that good. So it's nice to see Scream 2022 kind of do like a return to like the basics and kind of be what a Scream film should be. So in that aspect, I really think that this film succeeds in that and being like a love letter to fans and stuff like that, and it being like a nostalgia driven thing where we haven't seen a Scream movie since when was the last Scream movie? Scream 4, right? This one's technically like Scream 5, right? So Scream 4 was 2011. That was like almost 10 years ago. So yeah, it's been a decade since we've seen these characters. But like my point that I was making earlier, it's not like these characters weren't in every fucking movie. Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, they were only, you know what I mean? They haven't been Spider-Man for a long time. And, Gail Weathers, Sidney Prescott, fucking Officer Deputy Dewey dipshit are in every fucking movie. So, yeah. But, going back to the disposable bodies, so to speak, whatever those teen disposable bodies, they do a good job. They do a good job of like kind of casting those people. Jenny Ortega is really good in those roles, in that role as being kind of like the side character scream queen, and the main character is kind of like really falls flat for me. She's kind of like a bad actress. Her name is Melissa Barrera, I think, and she's kind of bad at that, and she's kind of uninteresting and boring. And I kept thinking like I want to see more of Jenny Ortega. Put her back on screen. Put her. I want to see her. I want to see more of her interacting with Jack Quaid. Who Jack Quaid is very fucking interesting and very good in this fucking movie. I like him a lot. I like everybody in this movie. Everybody does really good in this movie. Um, but the one thing I can say about this film is that everybody seems to like this film a lot. Everybody seems to really dig this film a lot. And I'm not going to say that I don't dig this film a lot, but I don't think that I dig this film as much as everybody else digs this film. I had a little bit of time to like have this movie marinate with me, and it's only just okay. I mean, it's not like this magnum opus of like a Scream film. It's not as good as the first Scream film, because nothing could ever be as good as the first Scream film, because that initial, that thing of like kind of it's the first one. I mean, it's like the Predator movie or the Terminator movies. Like, you can never top that first one, because it is just like the initial like shock and like goodness of that first one, and not knowing exactly what this movie is. You know what I mean? That really takes away from this fucking movie. And like all the sequels, if I'm being honest, all the sequels, it takes away from all the sequels and all the other movies, in that they can never recapture that lightning in a bottle, because it's impossible for them to recapture that lightning in a bottle. We know the twists, we know the turns. I mean, they lay it out for us. This movie does the meta thing really fucking well. This movie is like the horror movie equivalent of like the Matrix Resurrections, but like in the best way possible. Like, it does the meta thing like very, very, very fucking well. You know what I mean? These directors, these guys of like Ready or Not, they went to the Wes Craven school of horror films, because this movie is like a true and tried testament to the Wes Craven horror movie formula, and it does a good job of being that. And if you're a Scream fan like myself, That's all you want, but I'm also a movie critic. And I have to say that this film, it is lacking. I mean, the reason that it's lacking is that it's repetitive. It's the same as every other Scream film. I mean, you know what you come to expect from a Scream film, but for a film that people were touting as this thing that's like refreshing and this brand new like breath of like fresh air in the franchise, I mean, it's not really that. I mean, it's very much the same of the same old, and it's like exactly like Scream 4. It's almost exactly like the exact same film of Scream 4, but they just do a little bit of better of a job. I'm not here to say that this film is bad or that it's not well acted or that it's not fun. It's a very fun film. You should go out and watch this film. Hell, I'll even tell you right now, this is like a 6.5, 7 out of 10 fucking film. I recommend it. It's really good. As far as a Scream film goes, this is like probably like out of the 5 Scream films, this is at least like top 2 or top 3. But yeah, it is very repetitive. It is very much the same old, and it's not something that you're gonna say like again, like I said, it's not a breath of fresh air. It's not something that's like gonna knock your socks off. That you're gonna be like, oh my god, I didn't expect for them to do that. If you're a if you're paying close attention and you're paying attention to this film, you're gonna figure out who the killer is pretty fucking early on. I mean, from the fucking movie material, now that I've watched the movie and I'm like going back to seeing all the fucking marketing material, it's so obvious who the fucking killer is. I'm not gonna say it on this fucking review. I'm not gonna be that guy, but I just have to say, like, it's honestly pretty obvious once you get into it. But in all honesty and in summary, Scream 2022 is a pretty well written, pretty clever little like requel, as they said in the film. It is a sequel and a reboot. And it does a good job of being both of those things. But I have to say, it's very much the same. It's very much formulaic. It's very much fucking repetitive in that it's like, it sets up all these things. It does all this legwork only for it to become like the same of every Scream movie. By the end of this film, it's just like every other fucking Scream movie. This film ends like every other fucking Scream movie. Exactly what you think's gonna happen in this movie happens in this movie. And I think that's the worst part of this fucking movie, is that exactly what you think's gonna happen happens in this movie. But I don't want to sit here and say that this is a bad movie. This is a very interesting, very good Scream movie. So I'm going to have to give it a 6.5 out of 10. I'm going to recommend that you wait for this to come out on whatever streaming services it comes out on and just watch it then. Grab some beer, grab some popcorn, hang out with your favorite people, hang out with your loved one, your partner, whoever you hang out with, and pop on Scream because it's a hell of a time. And it kind of has gone into that territory which all of our favorite horror movie franchises have gone on that are now still alive. They're made for TV now. They're made for TV. And so is Scream. Well, there you have it, ghouls and gals. I'm Ryan T, and thank you for tuning in to the first movie review of 2022, and I'll see you in the next one, and I hope that 2022 is a better year than 2021. Not that 2021 was bad. 2021 was very good to me, but let's hope that we do a little bit better, get more numbers, get more people watching, and the way that you can help me do that is if you share this video, like this video, comment, do all that good stuff. Thank you, ghouls and gals, for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
This is a